haven't snookered you.
You've snookered me.
No.
Do I need my glasses on or off?
I think on. I think you look fine. You look good. Okay, it's not about makeup or anything. This is just going to be for right now.
Alright. This is a recipe for a double crust pie or 2 single crust pie shells. So we need 2 cups of flour. That's all-purpose flour. We need about a teaspoon of salt, and we use kosher salt. Gives it a much cleaner taste there. And I've got 2/3 cup of shortening. This is a butter flavored shortening. You can use plain shortening. You could use half shortening and half butter. But for this, we're using 2/3 cup of butter flavored shortening. And then you just cut the shortening into
Explain what cutting
the flour.
is. Just explain what that does. I would explain why you do that.
Okay, I'm going to.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I'm using a fork. You can use what they call a pastry cutter. And what this does, it just gently incorporates the flour and the butter together. And you want to take a light hand, but you have to be thorough. You want it to look like coarse cornmeal when you're done. It may take just a few minutes. Just keep going with it and folding it over so that you get the butter molecules mixed in there with the flour. And again, it takes just a little while. Just keep mixing and kind of fluffing it around. That's good there. And I give it just a last, very, very lightly, a little bit of finger just to finish it up, and you can see that looks just like coarse pieces. You can just lightly, again, lightly. You want to keep a light hand with it. But after a couple times, you'll be able to feel, and you'll know what you'll be able to feel what it looks like. Okay, so when you're through with that, just make just a small well in the middle. You want to use ice water. You want to keep everything cold. You don't want the fats to melt into that, so you want to start with cold shortening, and we're going to use ice water. And you want to use as little ice water as possible. The less water, the flakier your crust. If your crust is too brittle, almost like a cracker, you've used too much water. So just use just enough. We're going to start with 5 tablespoons of ice water in this mixture and just sprinkle around. 3, 4, 5. Again with your fork, or you could use a light hand, but with your fork, just toss that around. Now it may look like it's never going to come into a ball, but you can see that it's starting to do. Now I'm going to switch with my hand here. You can get just a little firmer with it. It's nice and cold. And what we're doing is you give it just a little bit of a mix. See, it's starting to form a ball. Just a drop or two more, just to finish up that bottom crumbs in the bottom. That's perfect. Now I'm going to take it out of the bowl here. You see it's incorporated everything down in the bottom of the bowl. But you can see your dough here. As I open it up, you can see these layers, all these flakes. That's what's going to give you a flaky crust. It's cold, I can still feel it chilled. So what you'll do is finish it up here, just pop into a bowl. You're good to go here. Beautiful pie crust. And then just take a plate with some saran wrap or some plastic wrap and just cover it. Again, this is for 2, either a double crust pie or 2 9-inch single crust, like for pecan pie, or if you were going to bake them off for coconut pie. You will just seal this up, put it in the refrigerator for about an hour, or It will last a couple of days. You can do several of these ahead around the holidays. Have them in your refrigerator. Go ahead and roll them out. Put them in your pan or freeze them, and it works great.